So if you farm wheat, barley, or sorghum and want to put that into production for $100,000 or less, stick around. I'm going to show you how to do just that.
Okay, I've been asked what's a great way to get a production without spending a whole heck of a lot of money if you farm grains, and I think it's chickens. So we're going to find out here real quick if chickens are a great thing to do as far as production goes for grains.
All right, let me show you where you get a chicken pen from. If you go to the menu under construction, and then you're going to go down to animals and scroll over until you see chickens. And there's different sizes. Okay, 31 chickens, 30 chickens, 20 chickens, 20, 30. I recommend you go big or go home and get this thing, which is 360 chickens. It's $79,000. So what you do is, okay, it's going to ask you, do you want to customize the fence? Now you can, and that'll give you a little more space for chicken, okay, for the coop. But we're going to, 360 is fine. So if you do that, if you increase the capacity, just remember that the food capacity doesn't go up. But you still got some leeway on chickens because it only uses a portion of the food capacity per day, unlike some of the cow pens. So we're going to say no. And then the next one is, do you want to plant meadow? And I'm going to say no too. And then the chicken pen is right there. Be sure you have a level area so you can get to where you feed them. Okay, and it has grass out here where they run around. All right, now we're going to use this one over here. All right, now once your pen is in place, you can go here to buy chickens. Okay, now you have a choice of babies or 6-month old. They do reproduce and they reproduce kind of quick. If you're really hurting for money, you could get like 60 chickens uh, for not a whole lot of money because they're only $50 each. That what, 3 grand and plus the delivery fee. So, however, for less than 20, I'm going to get 250. I'm going to get 110 more. Okay, so look at this. For $19,800, we just filled up our chicken pen. Now, if you can't afford that, that's fine. But I recommend, since unlike animals where you're selling the animals, here we're selling the eggs. Okay, we're selling the eggs. So what we're going to do, well, first I got to put some food in here. Now you can feed chickens either barley, wheat, or sorghum. Okay, barley, wheat, or sorghum. Now I've done some tests on this already, and I have figured out, and I'll show you on a spreadsheet here in a minute. I have figured out that barley is the most efficient. You'll make more money by doing barley. Okay. Well, the actual money you make is the same, but when you compare what you could have sold the others for, you'll make more money doing barley. And also, you get more barley per acre than you do wheat or sorghum. Wheat's kind of close. So, as an example, to do this barn, okay, you're going to need about 2.8 acres of barley to do these 360 chickens for a year. Okay. 2.8 acres of barley. And that's not too hard. Okay. For wheat, it's about 3 acres. And for sorghum, it's about 3.25. Not a huge difference, but it is a difference. Okay. It is a difference. And the money's a little different too. We'll look at that in detail here once I figure it all out here in a minute. All right. So we're going to fast forward and do a year of this and see how we came out. All right, we have completed a year with our chickens and we came out pretty good. Like I say, the most efficient food, I did 3 years worth of stuff. So, barley is the most efficient, as we said earlier. Okay, barley is the most efficient. But what we found after a year, one, no matter what feed you use, you're going to use 5 liters of feed per chicken per day. Okay, 5 liters of feed per chicken per day. Okay, feed. So it doesn't matter if it's barley, sorghum, or wheat, you're using 5 liters of that per chicken per day. So on the pen like this that's maxed out at 360 chickens, that means we're using 800 liters of food per day. Okay, or 21,600 liters per year. So that lets you plan accordingly. And it's around 3 acres worth. Okay, 2.8 for barley, 3 1/4 for sorghum, and wheat's in the middle. Okay, but it's around 3 acres that you got to farm to get that amount of barley. Now, what we found on the money is after a year, we took in, I'll put the numbers up here in a spreadsheet in a second, but we took in $65,203. $65,203. Okay. Now, we have an opportunity cost. And then what that means is if we took that same amount of barley, okay, that 21,600 liters of barley, and took it to the market at the opportune time, it would be worth $23,825. Okay, so if you take that out, what we made was, we got the 65, okay, and that ends up being $41,378 more than we would have gotten for just the barley. Okay, so that's almost twice as much more again. So if you would have sold the barley, we would have got 23 grand and change. And by putting that in production with eggs and selling those, and this is an average, if you sold the eggs at the optimum time of the year, you would make more. Okay, you would make more money. We also did wheat and sorghum. And the same thing, the numbers you receive is going to be exactly the same. The amount of grain you use is going to be the same. What changes is the opportunity cost. For wheat, instead of 23 grand for barley, it's $25,985. And for sorghum, the opportunity cost is $33,934. So for that reason, you're better off using barley for your chickens. Okay, you'll come out better. So chickens are profitable, and you're going to get way more than just using grain. So it's a lot more profitable than selling your grain, and it's a lot cheaper to get into than buying like the grain mill, unless you get that little one. But this is a lot of money here you can get over and above what you got for the price of the grain. So that's what I got. I'm Farmer Teacher. Let me know what you think. And if you get any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.